like just her from her computer. So
Okay.
I'm gonna start.
So
Okay.
now we're recording on actual Google Meets in case the screen recording on my phone doesn't work. So Maddie has a story for everybody
We
today.
do. So today we have all the after schoolers today because it's President's Day when this is being recorded. And one of the after schoolers was wearing this shirt that said Converse on it, and it had like stuff on the side. And I saw it and I was like, oh, where'd you get that like sweatshirt? And he was like, oh, my mom gave it to me. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like maybe his mom went to Converse. And then I like kept looking at it and I was like, it's a little weird that the letters are maroon and not purple or gold. And I didn't really pay attention to what the things on his sleeves were, but it definitely said All Stars. And then Dad picked up, and I was like, "Oh, I saw his hoodie, but he like didn't say like if he got it from there. Like, did Mom go to Converse or anything?" And he was like, the dad was like, "Oh, well, I think it's talking about the shoes." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, because like." There's a school like right around here that's Converse. That's where I went. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I think we got that from Old Navy."
That's so funny, bro.
Okay, so nice.
See, that's funny because people heard I went to Converse or was going to Converse, and they asked if I was going to learn how to make shoes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I've never had that happen.
You know,
and probably because I'm still in the like Spartanburg area.
True. Fair. You know that the Converse mascot before it was the Valkyries was the All Stars, and then they got a cease and desist.
Yep.
So now we're the Valkyries, but it's kind of funny. But Jordan, did Dylan still want to be our interviewer, or is he doing stuff? If not, that's totally chill.
Hey, Boo, you still want to be the interviewer?
Hello.
You can always sit in front of the TV and we can see the screen. Yeah,
in front of the TV and scream.
No, if he stands over by the TV, we can see the reflection of him in the TV.
Oh, if you stand over by the TV, they can see your reflection in the TV. Oh, behind me. Okay. Don't moon them. Oh, so scared he was going to moon you in the TV.
This is a PG channel.
No, just say something to see if they can hear you.
Oh, yeah. We can hear him.
They can hear you just stand next to the TV the whole time.
Oh, you can also sit down. They don't need you in the No, he will never be able to hear you.
Perfect.
Unless he sits next to me. Okay, we're good.
Valentina? Ally.
Also, to clarify, before no names.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to clarify that we're not using names if we bring up people.
Yep, but I'll still have some of our chitter chatter before this anyway, just because I think we're funny. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks we're funny. I don't know if the internet thinks we're funny or not, but I mean, I think our video, I know it's not a lot, and it sounds kind of embarrassing that I'm excited that we got like 30 views on our podcast episode, but that's the most views I've gotten on a podcast episode so far. So that's still 30 people. That's more people than we had on the lacrosse team. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Me and Sophie only just watched it last night. So it's not like it was just us over and over again.
And I know you guys are one of my likes always. So, but welcome to the Hey It's Sid podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. Today I am joined by my amazing friends from college lacrosse, Jordan Rose and Sophie and Maddie, which you all know very well at this point, but if you guys would like to give yourselves a little intro, you can. And our guest appearance, who is not on camera, is Dylan, Jordan's boyfriend, who is going to be our MC interviewer and asking us questions about our time in organized sports throughout school in general. We all played lacrosse together, but we've all done a couple of different sports throughout our years in organized sports again, of course. So that's my rambling, but would you guys like to introduce yourselves in case this is the first time someone's interacting with the podcast or my channel?
Sure. I can go first.
Yay.
I am Maddie. Broad overview of my sports life. I technically did gymnastics before kindergarten, but my mom lied to me and said she was going to put me back in gymnastics after I started kindergarten, and never did. So I could have been a gymnast, but
You could have been in the Olympics.
I could have been in the Olympics, but we were broke, so we could not afford gymnastics anymore. So then after that, I did soccer, like all of elementary school, and then I did one season of football in 6th grade, and then I started lacrosse in 7th grade. I was a defender 7th, 8th, and freshman year, and then I started as a goalie my sophomore year of high school, and then I played as a goalie from then on. But I did high school lacrosse and I did travel lacrosse, which entailed both summer ball and fall ball.
Mhm.
So once high school, like sophomore year, once I became a goalie, I was constantly playing lacrosse year round up
Nice.
until all 4 years of college.
Nice.
Who's next?
I guess I'll be next since I'm here. Hi, my name is Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
I'm happy to be here with us today and seeing all these beautiful smiling faces. I started my career in
Oh,
goodness.
I was trying
Oh,
not to
goodness.
say it.
started.
Sophie gets to be the first bleep, even though that wasn't a cuss word. I'm still not putting that there.
Okay, so I started my career in, I think, basketball,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and then
That's
in soccer. What did she say?
I don't know, but Jordan's face was priceless.
So,
do?
or wait, oh yeah, Jordan, what did you say? Sorry,
I
Sophie.
said that's
we keep interrupting you.
shocking.
Isn't it?
So I started my career
yeah,
in
I didn't know that.
basketball, and
When?
then soccer.
When?
Oh, these were like, So I went to Catholic elementary school for a couple years, and those years so it was like 3 years up until 2nd grade that I did basketball. And then I'm pretty sure I did soccer from sometime to
Some other time.
some other time in elementary school before 5th grade happened. And then basically like 7th grade through like my junior or senior year in high school, I swam every summer. So I was swim team in high school in my freshman year. Maybe it was my sophomore year. I don't remember. Started lacrosse in high school, and then I did a year in college with you beautiful folks. I'm blessed. I would never change anything about that 1 year, except for maybe leaving earlier.
It looks like
Not anything against the sport. I love lacrosse. Yes. Jordan's turn.
it looks like a chicken, guys, doesn't it?
It looks
Like
like
the
a
sugar
I can
head
see it,
and
yeah.
This looks like a chicken.
Kitty.
You knocked over all of my markers.
Her markers will be fine.
Okay, well, I'm Jordan. Preschool
I
to kindergarten, I was in T-ball,
Hey.
and I started
T-ball.
soccer before in preschool, and I played soccer all the way until 8th grade. And I did cross country and track starting in 7th grade all the way till junior year of high school. I did almost do it in college,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't do track and lacrosse, so I picked lacrosse.
Good choice.
And great choice. And I started lacrosse in 5th grade and played it all the way through all 4 years of college till senior year of college
You
with
made
these
it.
beautiful people.
A full 4 years.
A
that
full
one did.
4 years.
These ones.
Um,
3.5. Like some people.
Oh,
And
I know what I
This is
caught
just
what
a-
we were referring to.
And
They're already throwing
I did. I don't know if people count this as a sport, but I did do cheerleading.
If you
like
say cheerleading is
flips
not
and
a
stuff.
sport,
Some people don't count it.
I count it.
I think it
I
depends on
count it.
whether or not you do it for competition.
that's also fair.
I,
But I think if you're
yeah.
stunting in general, it's a sport because it is an athletic activity. I feel like
That's
people
true.
that say cheerleading isn't a sport are people that believe fishing is a sport. So
Yeah.
Or golf.
I think it depends on the competition. I think a sport
I
has
think
to
if
be
you're
something you do
sideline cheer,
competitively.
it's not a sport if you don't do like if you just do the standing and cheering, but if you do flips and competition, then it's a sport.
I also
agree.
agree with the competition aspect. I think it depends, but then also stunting comes into it. But then at what point is that it's just exercise? So that is the debate. I get it. But fishing.
No, that's just
but
weird.
like have you pulled in a big fish before? Because like fishing is
that is a lot of arm work,
strategic, and a lot of arm work. So there is a semi-athletic angle to it.
Me and Sophie
I don't
agree to disagree.
Chess is a sport because
I don't
it's a
think
competition.
it's a sport, but I think it can be.
Oh, it's definitely a competition.
This is not a sport.
Fishing and golf are not sports, but chess is.
Okay, Sophie.
Okay,
no.
It's incorrect.
Anyways,
That's the wrong
I was
opinion.
a cheerleader from before, from preschool to up until like 3rd grade.
I tried to
got crazy eyes right now.
I tried to join the chess club, but they told me I wasn't good enough.
I tried to join swimming, but they thought I would drown, so I wasn't allowed.
I might cry about it, thinking about it. It was really embarrassing. This is why I don't do new things.
So I already introduced myself, but I got to go through the timeline of my sports too, I guess. So trying to think, 4 years old, I started competition cheerleading for a little bit. It wasn't long, but I was also in dance, so I was like the fine arts kid. And then I did t-ball and softball and baseball all through the same like church ball league for a while.
Is t-ball like a thing? Like you both did t-ball, and this
you
is the
start t-ball when you're little, and then you move up to softball.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had never known that.
I couldn't go to softball because I couldn't hit the ball off the tee.
Were you better, Sid?
No. So I usually, since it was a church league, they would not really keep score that much because they were like, everybody wins in the eyes of the Lord. And yeah, that's not very good competition there. So, but after like 5 times not being able to hit the ball, they would bring the t-ball out in t-ball and softball and baseball, whatever I was doing, because I did it for a really long time. And then I quit dance. I did dance for a really long time. I quit dance. And then in middle school is when we were allowed to start trying out for team sports in like a school function. So I picked up cheerleading again, and I did that for 7th and 8th grade. But then 8th grade, I started track. 9th grade, I started cross country, and I did cross country and track up until my senior year. I quit track my senior year, but I had already gotten a scholarship for running in college. And my senior year, I started doing cheer again. So cheer has always been around on and off for a while. Then in college, my first 2 years, I had my cross country and track scholarship, but I ended up leaving cross country and track because it was just a nightmare situation. All of this is alleged because you have to say everything is alleged. So any drama we talk about is all from our personal experience and alleged, since we're putting it on the internet. Thank you. But I had an identity crisis because I didn't have a sport in my life, so I didn't know what to do. So I was like, in my freshman year, I know Maddie was on the team my freshman year on lacrosse, but we didn't know each other yet, but they didn't have enough players. And you can go into that when I'm done, Maddie, I know you were there for that experience. I was not. So that's more your experience. But they were sending out emails and were like, please, we don't have enough players. Like, you can walk on. And they did email me. They're like, you can do cross or track and lacrosse at the same time. I'm like, I don't think I can. I think that's a lot. So my junior year, I emailed them. I was like, hey, you guys still need players? And they emailed me back. And then I played lacrosse for my junior and senior year, never playing lacrosse ever before in my entire life. And I think I probably at least gained the skills of a 8th grader to a 9th grader. So, I mean, I wasn't terrible. I think I could have been a lot worse. Then my senior year at Converse, they added a cheer team. So I started doing cheer my senior year again, but it was only sideline cheer for this different sports because it was the first year in the program. I do still follow them, and they've been doing some competitions now, which is really exciting to see. And I'm glad that program's still working and like growing.
Because I was thinking about it when you were saying that the person sending those emails was the same coach. Was the same coach that recruited Jordan, but that's not the coach that recruited me.
Okay.
My class, so like the people who graduated with us, was recruited by a coach before that, and then she left, and then we got a new coach that just was there for that season, I feel like. And then And then we left for and she quit or retired, left, decided, like, you know what I mean? Like, she left.
We all
Jordan,
heard
I don't know if
something.
you were in that Zoom call that we had, because I feel like that was current athletes and like people coming in that she recruited. So I went through 3 coaches at Converse, and I think that would mean Jordan did too, because Jordan didn't go through the coach that I first saw. At least I don't think you did.
Yeah, for context, me and Maddie were the same graduation year. Jordan is a year after us, and Sophie was a freshman when me and Maddie were seniors and Jordan was a junior, for context. But that's crazy. I didn't realize that. Also, I know you didn't know, because I feel like this might just be brought up, YouTube doesn't like the word. It will get flagged for some reason. I don't know why. So like we have to refer to it as the pandemic.
Okay. Well, I was
know.
just,
It's something about
didn't
like
realize,
false info.
I didn't realize that, but like no, that was 2020. That wasn't even, I don't even think it was the summer of 2020, because we only played 3 games. It wasn't March. It was like, I feel like it was April, May that we were told we were all going to be in a Zoom call. And a lot of us showed up. I was in the Bojangles drive-thru.
It was May because I was just graduating high school and I was in the Zoom calls. And I remember ending high school and then immediately getting a text being like, hey, you're getting a new coach. Here's the Zoom for you to meet different ones.
Was it
So,
like a
but were you in the
requirement?
meeting when the coach that recruited you left? Like, there was a Zoom meeting we had that, oh my gosh, I totally forgot us Zoom calling different coaches, Jordan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Oh my
bringing up
gosh. I can't.
repressed memories with the podcast.
That's actually crazy.
And then remember
I don't
we
think
had a
you-
document where everyone put in a vote for which one they wanted.
And I now remember that it was literally the other 2 coaches before the coach we got.
Yes, but the school looked more for not what we wanted and looked for financial instead.
Yeah, yes. Because the other 2 coaches were more experienced.
Then why
Yes.
even have the team try to choose someone?
I don't know.
Literally, I must have trauma blocked that, because
You told me about it once.
did I?
Yeah, you told me about it.
That is not on my memory on most days. I don't think about it at all. But I do remember
it
the
because
Zoom
I was
meeting.
coming in for the first year and I'm like, all of this is happening. Like before I'm even there. And I'm like, I'm coming into a mess. It's just a mess.
Yes,
It
you
sure
were
sounds like it.
a hot mess. And it continued to be a hot mess.
Oh yeah.
But we all met each other through it, and now we're lifelong friends. So
Okay. Dylan!
Oh, Dylan, it's your
Yes.
turn.
Yes, Sid, we are your friends.
thanks.
Introduce yourself. Who are you? And did you play any sports?
Hey everybody, I am Dylan. I am a former D1 beer league softball player. That is the most I've ever done. I played baseball for most of my life, but peak was the...
That is an actual league he was in. Yeah.
Indeed it was. Wasn't the best, but it was fun time. Is that all?
Yep.
Nice.
I don't really know what that is, but it is a thing.
I don't either.
What
Can you
is a
have some
beer
more
league?
explanation?
So a beer league is when you get together with a bunch of old dudes that like drinking beer and you attempt to play softball. Doesn't go very well, but
Okay, kid.
Oh my
When
gosh,
you
that's
start
like
a
they have
lacrosse
beer
league-
runs and stuff.
it's
Oh,
a great
God.
time. You just gotta have beer. It's not fun if you don't.
There are beer runs where you like drink a
Every
beer every
lap.
lap,
Yeah.
and
See,
I
can do
feel
that.
like that sounds awful. Like that
time for
doesn't
throw-up.
sound. Yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't
that
survive it.
Mm-mm.
no, me neither.
I can confirm it was not a good time.
That's
Until
so
the end.
funny though. I honestly love that you were a part of that.
It was a great time until it wasn't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can see it. Dylan has agreed to be our interviewer, so you can choose which way you want to do the questions. I genuinely just found all of those questions online and copied and
Okay.
pasted them into my notes. I don't really
Well,
remember.
One of them we've
what I
answered. What
picked.
sports were we in? So
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Are you ready
that was
to pick
probably
your
my
first
introduction question.
she said it could be random.
I've got a pretty good lineup.
He's got a good lineup apparently.
Okay, good to know. I'm releasing my reins of the podcast to Dylan to be our main host
Go
right
for
now.
it.
So what motivated everybody to become an athlete?
My mother.
I was gonna say it wasn't a question in my house.
Yeah.
It was
Kind of forced
You know,
to.
it was in a sport every year. It was my mother.
it wasn't do you want to do a sport? It was what sport are you doing?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I had to in my high school career, I had the choice because I was in art, where my mom was like, you can keep doing that and you could do your sport, or you could just not do your sport anymore because you're grown and you have other hobbies. And
then I
interests.
guess what kept you motivated to keep going to college sports?
True. Like
I
when you
love
have more free will.
I love lacrosse. I really do. It probably is my first love. I just love watching it. I love learning about it. I love watching like really good players play. And I I did like playing sports, even though it wasn't like an option in my house. I did like playing them. So like I kind of always wanted it, like almost wasn't a question in my own head to myself. Like it wasn't a question to go to college. So I was like, I have to go to college. I might as well play lacrosse while I'm there.
I think I kind of had the same mentality when it came to cross country and track. I just really loved running. My coach, my senior year of track and cross country in high school, made it really difficult. And that's why I ended up quitting track. But he also ended up quitting track the year I quit track. But he had made the cross country season so unbearable for me that I just thought I had given it up completely. And then I got recruited and I was like, well, hey, maybe I can find this love again. Freshman year was great. Sophomore year, not so great for sure. Because a coach can definitely, I mean, we all know it. A coach can definitely make or break your experience in a sport. And we've all probably seen it throughout multiple sports. I think the only coaches that probably weren't the make or break for the sport were the T-ball coaches, because they were just there to enjoy the chaos.
So
like, that
for
would
me,
be the only reason I'd be sorry.
no, you're good. Finish.
I was just saying that would be the only reason I'd be a T-ball coach. Like, have you seen those like clips on TikTok of just, like little kids playing T-ball? It's so funny.
Oh yeah, but my dad was my T-ball coach, so yeah.
Oh.
My dad was my coach though from the first time I stepped on the field all the way up until high school. And then even then, my stepmom was my lacrosse coach and he was my conditioning coach. So, but kind of like Maddie and Sophie and everyone. It was my dad is a try all sports when you're younger and you can quit. You can try a different one, but you at least have to try the sports. And
Yeah,
I think I stayed with it because kind of like Maddie, I fell in love with it, but also I find it a great way to help handle my emotions. I like going on a run and just it's a de-stressor for me. So
I really need to start getting back into running. I always try and then I quit after a while, but I'm like, I want to run a marathon or something. I need like an end goal, but like it's hard to stay motivated when you're not being on a team.
Me and Maddie just talked about this recently. I feel like we were forced to do something for so long when we didn't want to, and now we have the choice to do it, that it's like we still want to, but the motivation to actually go do it is not there because we're not forced to anymore.
Yeah, like I've been doing yoga and I try to work out, but it's been a minute since I've worked out. It's been a couple of months. Because when I had my surgery, I fell off really hard after I had my surgery this past summer. So, like, I've been thinking, I'm like, maybe if I made a YouTube video about running and a process of training to run a marathon, maybe I would actually do it. But then the thought of, like, looking up the training and learning how to run a marathon.
I'm signing up for a marathon. We could just do it together.
What marathon? Because I was thinking about being, like, kind of a chicken about it and doing, like, the Charleston Marathon because it's flat.
So in high school, I ran my first marathon and it was a national park. So now my goal is to do all of the national park half marathons and
marathon.
Yeah, I ran a half marathon and a marathon. It wasn't very good.
I thought you had to be 18 to sign up for a marathon.
It was senior year. It was during the pandemic.
Girl, why are you holding out on us? That's so cool, dude. I wish I didn't know that about you. I don't care if it was good. I feel like I don't need a marathon time to be good. I just need to finish.
I'm pretty sure I puked like halfway through and this random dude was like, "You got this," and started running with me, and he wasn't even running the race. He was just there.
Oh
and
gosh.
like, dude.
That was always like one of the worst parts when you were like last in a race or something and people would start clapping. I'm like, you're not making this better. You're just making it worse.
Is that so? You know what's worse? Is when you're the last one doing
Shuttle runs?
the back and forth runs.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's finished and you still have at least one more full back and forth.
Hey.
And people join you. They're so untired. They're willing to do an extra rep with you while you try to run, and they're fast walking next to you.
You
know what's going
feels
I would like to point this out that I never ran with you.
I
was
would like
always like
I
laying
appreciate-
on the
thank
ground.
You.
I've found both sides of this situation before. Back in high school, I was that, but or the last one, and then like I don't know why, but our high school team, the last year I was there, I was somehow one of the fastest people on that fucking field. Sorry, I don't know how I did it.
We get to finally add the Sophie cuss count to the podcast.
That was like my third time.
That's still at least,
Depending
depending on what you cut, third beat.
Yeah.
Fair. You've been cutting out a little bit, but you did say, yeah, that's fair. I'm going to cut out a lot of the conversation that was made about this certain substance. So,
See, that makes me feel bad because I was going to say, Maddie, at least I started running with you. And then you said that. And I'm like, well, never mind.
I love you, Jordan. I love you, but
it was everybody else.
No, Isabel
Because it feels demeaning.
She will. She did that to me today. We weren't even running. We were walking.
She runs backwards.
I was going to say, to be fair, it wasn't the fact that I still had energy, Maddie. It's that I was able to regain energy and do it.
Because you had finished so early. And I was still going.
But I did also try to run with you on laps in general. Like, I'd get not to be an asshole. My bad. My count starts. Like, I would be a couple laps ahead, and then I'd be like, you know what? Let's run with Maddie. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I you know, I'm just like, you know, why not?
They would always be like, oh, like the faster you get done, the more time you have as a break. And
oh
I'm
my
like,
god, I hated when she said that.
I know, I hated that too.
I can't run any faster than this. I can't run. See, the difference is some of these girls were out here running at 100 pounds soaking wet, and I was running 215 pounds dry before it started raining.
Do you mean before you started swimming?
Exactly. Like, there's a difference. There's a difference with how much I have to get down a field and back, which is why I stand in a circle.
I just like the pain of getting hit. That's why I stand in a circle.
All right, psychopath.
Serious.
Okay. We ready for our next question, I guess?
Dylan, next question.
I don't know.
What, if any, is your pre-game ritual or lucky charm that you may have?
Wait. I'm going to answer one of Maddie's. An apple.
It was for a little while.
Wasn't there somebody on the team who did like a cookout milkshake before?
Me and Maddie.
That was also
Was that
me.
you?
That was me and Maddie.
Was also me. Yep. I still don't like milkshakes to this day.
Same, actually.
Because of that? Or did you not like them at the time and you just kind of suffered through them?
I was okay with them at the time. But then it was junior year, you're a sophomore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had cookout milkshakes the night before, and I ate an apple before the game, and I played amazing. I don't know if we won or not, but I think I got like 13 saves that
You're
game.
talking about us. We didn't win.
Yeah. I think we were playing a really good team that time, but I got like 13 saves, I think. So
killing it.
Exactly.
I didn't really have a I can't talk. I didn't really have a pre-game ritual for lacrosse, but for when I was doing cross country and stuff, I just really liked to listen to this one playlist that I never listened to any of the songs on the playlist, but except on like race days, and I would just sit there and listen to it before like doing my warm-up and stuff, and that was like my getting into the zone. I feel like that's pretty basic of a pre-game ritual though. But for lacrosse, I wasn't pre-gaming or having a pre-game ritual because I played first string bench. So
Well, it's also because
wasn't
they
really the
kind of
thought.
forced us to have their type of pregame ritual, even though that's
They
not how
really
half
did.
of us work.
Oh my gosh, do y'all remember? Sometimes it was fun. Like, okay, I take it back. Like the first time it was kind of fun, but when we had I think it was delayed. We had a delayed game because some
For
bus was late or
2
something.
hours
And
because the
we
refs
ended up
didn't show up.
that was it, the refs. So and we had like a spontaneous dance party. That was kind of fun, but then when they forced us to have the dance party after, I was like, why are we doing this? Like I was like, it was fun in the moment because we were just having a good time trying to be like teammates, and there was already so much divide on the lacrosse team, so I thought it was kind of fun. You guys might not have, but after they were like, we're turning the lights off, we're dancing and we're singing this stupid song every game because we're gonna get pipe or whatever.
I can
And
tell you
I was like,
exactly why we were forced to do it.
I know, well, they just wanted to cuss about the other team by singing
No,
that
because
song.
the favorites wanted to.
Yeah, but it got old, and they were just like, we're gonna have a dance party and a hype the whole time, get the energy up. And I get it. If the team liked each other more, I think that would have been more fun.
I don't even think that. I just think, because personally, I never enjoyed it because before a game, I don't talk to people. I'm a very put in headphones, sit down, get in the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah, because everybody's got their thing, so they shouldn't have forced us to
being
have a thing.
forced to go through a word of a day and what you want for you and the
about
team,
the word of the day, bro.
You forgot? Or you had to
I
write
think
it
I
down?
trauma blocked the word of the day until she just said that.
Like,
So I'm
I
just
don't
like you with the
know.
other thing.
I didn't like being forced to do that because I just want my headphones in. I want to, honestly, before every game, I like to talk to my dad, at least text him, because he helps me get in the right mindset. He always gave me motivation. He always said stuff. He knew how to calm me down, but like I couldn't do that because Bones were forced to be away because we had to do all this interaction with the team.
Honestly, I never had a pregame ritual, but the most I ever did as one would have been in high school, and it would always be talking with my friend on the other team. I'd always have like one or two friends on the other team, and I'd just like say hi. And I feel like it broke the ice enough where I wasn't as anxious about going onto a field and having to be the best person, because like I had friends and like it wasn't like it was gonna be the end of the world, like
Yeah.
I feel like I missed that. Like I think in college I had you guys, but like even that wasn't really like enough because it's still too fucking loud. Sorry, Sid.
I mean, you
It was
couldn't really
so
talk to the
loud.
people you wanted to talk to, but
I
also
know. And we all had
Another
assigned
ear listening in.
lockers. I didn't like the assigned lockers because I was so far away from you guys. Me and Maddie were next to each other, but we were all the way on the other side of Jordan. And then we all had to sit in our locker. My locker was on the end, so half the time I couldn't hear what they were talking about, and I felt super isolated. I felt isolated as a person who never did lacrosse too. It just I feel like that was a lot of our issues on the field, is our pregame rituals that they thought were like, this is it. We're not it.
I also think that, like, instead of saying if we liked each other more or if there wasn't so much of a divide, I think if everybody had gone in open-minded and been like, we are a team, and no matter how we feel about each other outside of this building and outside of this field, and like went into the locker room going like, oh, we are all a team, I think that a lot of problems would have been solved.
Yeah,
So they were just team bonding, like
They like
in the locker, like
say
not just even
we are a team,
right,
without the actual like.
I'm saying like we need to be able to trust each other. Like
Mhm.
I don't care if I have to. Sorry, I'm gonna say even if I had to, I don't know choose any of the people that we would usually talk about. Choose any of them. I don't care what name you have to think of. even if I had to close my
If you
eyes.
accidentally say any name, I will completely remove the name. Like, I know with the cussing thing, I don't remove the complete word, so it's just like for the adults that are watching to understand the sentence, but for the children that are watching, they're like, what? I know I've talked about that with you guys, but if you do accidentally say a name, I will remove it completely with a bleep and volume mute it the whole way. So don't stress out about that, okay? I just wanted to give you some reassurance.
Even if I had to fall backwards into some random person's arms, I feel like I would still trust them more than what I had in the beginning of the day, because some of them weren't great, and I don't think that they would ever throw any of us the ball.
See,
Not that
I completely agree there, but I don't think it was the team's fault, actually. I think it was the coach's fault.
Oh, it definitely was.
Because
Not
in the
any-
background, the coaches are talking to everyone, mostly favorites, about how much they dislike this person and how they don't like their playing style, which then creates this person, that teammate, not to trust this teammate, and to kind of create an outcast system where if you do say, let's go out on the field and be a team, you're not, because the coaches just set up that type of atmosphere.
Yeah, our coaches were very immature coaches, and I mean, I could throw a lot of tea, and again, alleged tea, because this is our experience, but I will not confirm or deny the amount of times that I have seen our coaches come into my restaurant job with some of the favorites and drink a lot of apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also allegedly that our coaches had a lot of our teammates as their players before they got to Converse. So they were already these people's coaches. So they already had that connection that us four did not have.
Yes.
Which just didn't help.
If I could change anything about this, I don't know. No, I only went to Converse because I could play lacrosse. So I can't even say I wouldn't have played lacrosse at Converse, because that's the only reason I chose the school. So, but I guess I still can't change anything because I still want to meet you guys. And I still want to play lacrosse.
I know.
I wouldn't have changed anything because honestly, I did love the academics there. I think the main issue was I didn't like how I was treated a lot of the time. But I would say I didn't really enjoy the team, but I know I didn't really get to enjoy the team because a certain ex really outcasted me and didn't let me get to know the team. So I didn't get to hang out and go to as many things as I would like to. And I realized that senior year that if I was just able to do that, I think I would have been a lot better off with at least being cordial with a lot more of them, instead of just feeling like an outcast. But if anything would change, I think to make it less miserable, it would be the coaching and how that just affected everything. It would be the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I really, even though there was a lot of issues on field my senior year, there was a lot of issues on the field, but honestly, I feel like that's the closest I've ever been with the team as a whole. Even though, like, every time we hung out.
It's the part that I was never invited to those. Because it took me a while to still be even good friends with you guys. Like, my junior year, I had a similar experience with Jordan where I was having a relationship where I was being exiled from being friends with really anybody except for him, unfortunately. And I got out of that senior year, but I was still struggling to get out of my shell. And I had a lot of trouble. Like, I felt like a lot of you guys didn't like me, and I really wanted to be y'all's friend. And it took me a while to, open, I guess, that communication and stuff. Because I know now, y'all didn't not like me. I just have that, feeling all the time. But the, late night things, I usually wasn't invited to because that side of the team really I don't think they felt, any sort of way towards me. I don't think they, disliked me or didn't dislike me. They just didn't have an opinion on me. I think they just thought, it's just, she's just there. But some people I know, disliked me, and I never, really found out why. And it was just kind of did I do something? But then I think it was more of just, an association thing.
Yeah, well, certain people were told not to hang out with seniors, which was your year.
Allegedly, there was
in meetings. And I mean, that outcasts a decent most of the seniors, even though I think a lot of people realized that it was baloney.
Yeah.
But I feel like that did affect things for at least the first semester. So where were we?
Dylan can watch it.
Should we have Dylan ask another question?
For the viewers, real quick? We just went on a tangent that I'm gonna have to like block a lot of out because there was a lot of like personal drama that happened on the team. So if there's like a weird splice right here, that's why.
Hold on.
We're okay. This
Hold on,
is kind of
keep a
like
minute.
therapy.
This is therapy. What are you talking about? Like therapy? Anyway,
This is group
I
therapy.
found.
I had something.
No, that
Is that a bad word?
is damn it a bad word, Sydney?
Technically.
I know this one.
The question.
It is a question.
Never mind. I can't remember what I was gonna say.
What is one
Maybe it'll be-
drill you'll never forget? The defense with one defense in the middle and then 6 attackers on the outside going for the goal, and you just have to cover all of them while they're trying to shoot. I hated that one so much. And I will never forget
Not
it.
having backup to your slide.
No, it's just the fact that all of them are coming at you at once and they're like, defend. What do you mean?
Honestly, I think mine might be waterfall or like
Wait, what?
one of
Yes.
Yes.
I hated that one. Because they were like, if somebody drops the ball and it messes up the flow, and it usually is me, and I was
Do you
like, I
guys
can't do
remember
this,
the
and then they
time
would
we
yell
did
at you.
waterfall, and we got to the end, and I dropped the ball, and I threw my stick. I just threw it at the fence, and I walked off and started cursing at everyone. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I need to get away from you people. And everyone's just like staring at me like, oh, you guys were graduated. Yeah, I was done. It was like spring.
I was about to say, I don't remember
It was spring break, and I was done with all of it. And coach was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I don't want to see you people for a week. I need a break from you. I need a break from this. And I am not doing push-ups or burpees because I missed the ball because someone does not know how to throw. Sorry, not sorry. Done. That's how I felt about waterfall.
I think I only ever had to participate in the actual running of waterfall like maybe 2 or 3 times, but just watching you guys do it was painful to me. So, and then I would get extra yelled at if I didn't catch it or throw it well because I was stationary.
What was the question?
I didn't like the
Is there
star
any drills
drill
that are
either.
like stuck in your head that you just remember?
I did like the star drill.
I liked the star
I
drill.
didn't like the star drill. The star drill stressed me out. I was on
I
like
like
panic
hype.
mode the entire time.
Pipes?
You like okay, well yeah, but everybody likes that because that was a game. Context, that was a game where we had to hit the pipe of the net instead of the net.
What was it the last game we would play where we would be like on teams against each other, but the goalies would actually be like in goal?
Oh, I like that one too.
You know,
It's just like a speed run of just shooting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that one.
like it would be like
You
it
talking
would be
about
like
corners,
nine.
points?
It might have been like a
Oh,
corner.
I did
so.
not know. I
It's
didn't like that
It was
one.
8.
It was, yes, 2 sides, and then the person from the other side would throw the ball, and then the person would have to catch it and shoot it. And
No.
I did like that one.
I'm
That
talking
was
about a
good.
game. I'm talking about a game at the end where like purple would go and then I'd be defended or I'd be in goal.
oh, that
and
was
then
just
I'd
shooting.
save it.
That
But
was
it was like
it was the on the
different
8 and then
teams would
running
win.
in. Yeah, so you would start on the 8, you would do a penalty shot, and then someone would throw the ball from the corner of the goal, and then you'd have to catch it and throw it before a certain line.
Yes.
Yes. I hated that
I
game.
remember I hated that one
liked
too.
that game.
But I didn't like any game with shooting because they don't let defenders practice shooting, so I never felt good at it.
Same. I don't think we ever said that. Me and Jordan were defenders, and then Maddie and Sophie were goalies. If that wasn't like obvious, just again for more context, because I know we've been kind of like rambling about a bunch of stuff.
Desk the other day or today, and it hurts still. Like you can like literally feel my shin, Sophie.
Like feel the bump.
Do you feel the bump in my shin? Ignore my hairy legs.
Oh, you mean this?
Don't. But do you feel it?
A little bit.
That's from her 3 times in a row. I can send photos of that too. I was trying to
Goodness
send my
gracious.
lacrosse photos.
You should send the video of you flopping, Maddie.
Do
The
it.
time she got a concussion because she fell and flopped.
Do it.
Send the whole video.
If you're okay with that being on the internet.
It already
But if you're not
is.
okay with
Already
that
on the
being on the
internet.
internet,
It's on the
I want
internet.
it.
It started on the internet. That's how we got
That's-
recording.
that's fair. But if you're not okay with it being on the internet on the
It's okay.
podcast,
I'm
You
fine.
send that
It's
one
fine.
in, and I'll send the one where I get shot in the head, and I thought I was a person teammate was my owner, and I followed her like a dog to the attack side, and she looked at me and she said, "Get off the field," and I was like, "Why? I'm over there." I was so confused, but I literally in my head, I'm like, okay, I follow her and do what she says. She's like in charge of me.
I have a
Were
few
you
clips of the few
No,
times
no,
I was in
no.
games
I had
I can
a-
put in.
I'm
Like-
not okay either. That was my sophomore year.
Yep.
And the team we were playing had 2 players and my high school coach, and they were absolutely whooping our tail. And one of the players that did not play with me came up like 3rd quarter or something like that. What? We've had 0 subs, I'm sure. Half the team
I was playing with a
out for sickness.
concussion.
Out for sickness.
Yeah, it was
And-
during the pandemic, so a ton of people were out because of it.
Exactly. And one of the teammates from the other team that I didn't play with came up and was like, "How you feeling, Maddie?" or something like that. So I pinched myself the entire way home.
I don't know.
was not well. I was not mentally well after that game.
That will forever be one of my favorite games. Fully the fact that I blocked the shot with my forehead, and in the video you just hear Maddie going, "Nice save, Jordan!"
I'm
And
trying to make you feel better. I was really trying to make. I was really trying. Sophie's laughing because Sophie would have done it too. Like when you're playing something like that happens, you gotta put all the cards down on the table and try your best to make the
it was
situation.
forever one of my favorite. I'm on the
Yeah,
sidelines crying,
I need this clip.
crying.
I need this clip.
And all you hear is "Nice save, Jordan," and then you see me on the sidelines laugh. Just laugh a little. I'd like stop crying for a minute and just start laughing.
Just laughing through the pain.
Yeah, it's okay. I went back on the field and played amazing defense. Oh, such good defense.
That's good
Oh,
defense. Oh my gosh, the one where I got the concussion was I nearly puked because I had to drink a Gatorade because I think we were like almost out of water or something like that, or I needed something other than water. So I took a sip of Gatorade, and I like to this day can't drink Gatorade without throwing up. And I took a sip, but I was like playing MIDI that game by the end of it. And the girl I was defending, oh my gosh, she hated me so much because I tried to go stand next to her, and then I'd be like, like, and she literally ran away from me. Like this was during draw, I was nearly puking right next to her, and she was like, "Get away from me!" It was so good.
oh my!
Girl, though.
I know.
I
So bad
know.
for her.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
never had a concussion.
Shove it.
I also never had a concussion.
Yay,
That-
good job, Sid. Being safe.
I think I've
Right.
had 3.
Wait. On the audio recording, I'm the other way, or on the phone recording, I'm the other way.
Oh, do you need me over here?
Wait, no, go the way you were going. I changed for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
High five.
Go.
Okay, I sent you both
Close enough.
videos
Close enough.
of me falling. The one
They're
I got the
so good.
concussion is the second one at Emmanuel with the Dusty Field.
I shouldn't even
Mhm.
say they're so good. It was just it's just so funny.
It really is.
I love how a lacrosse picture you sent me has a whole watermark on it for high school lacrosse.
Yeah, I didn't pay
That's
for the
so
picture.
funny.
I didn't
That's so
pay for
funny.
the picture.
There. What's our next question?
Oh, Dylan, we need another question.
How did you guys go about balancing your sports life with your school life, with your personal life? How did you guys go about that?
I did
Suffered.
Yeah, honestly, in high school, in high school it was a lot easier. So I had a job, and I had the Fine Arts Center, and I had lacrosse, and I had high school. And sometimes it was hard to get to games because of the Fine Arts Center. I would have to like either not take the bus, or like when events would happen, I would have to like run to them. And I almost missed the game once, and that was kind of tough. But like job wise, I just worked on the weekends, and like school wise, I did homework during class. So like the only issue was the Fine Arts Center would because of how much work we did in architecture. It would just push me over the time of the class, or like when events were scheduled outside of it. That was like the hardest part about it. In college, tougher.
Gosh, such a mood. I feel like in high school for me, my job, I didn't have like a typical like fast food or restaurant job in high school. I worked for a nonprofit, and we just got paid based on events we did, and we could pick and choose which events we did. Like we would just go to like vendor things, and we would just sit at a booth and give out pamphlets basically and tell people about the resources we had. So that was like honestly probably the best job I could have had as a high school student. And then I was like in every club under the sun that I possibly could have been in, because I don't know why. I just wanted to be involved in everything. I was student government. We had a club called Impact. I was in book club, French club, art club, all of the things, doing all of my sports. So I would just stay up really long to do my homework, because I just struggled. And sometimes I would try to do my homework at lunch too. In college, I started working in the service industry as a server, so I had that, and then the multi-sports thing, and then classes. So it was a lot of suffering. And then I remember my senior year, I did end up taking a second job at the Spartanburg Art Museum as a teacher too. And the lacrosse, like our schedule changed, and I had picked my hours for that job based on the lacrosse schedule, but then they changed the lacrosse schedule without telling us but a week beforehand. And I was like, hey, this is like, it was a paid job, but I also got like credit hours for my teaching and stuff. I was like, I made this schedule based on the lacrosse schedule, but you guys changed it a week before. So how was I supposed to know that? And they got so mad at me, but I was just thinking the entire time, I was like, I'm not even playing barely at all. Like, why do you care that much? Because lacrosse is not my top priority. And then cheer. And I started my antipsychotics for the first time senior year, and that was so hard to be able to take those because they're a sedative. So lacrosse practice was like early in the morning, and then cheer practice was late at night. I would take my sedative and have trouble like waking up in the morning because of my antipsychotics, and so I eventually just had to wean myself off of them. And that was a lot. And I was still working 3 to 4 days a week at the restaurant I still work at part-time. And I have no idea how I did that. I feel like I was just constantly busy, and my Google Calendar was always like 10 minutes before this thing is happening, 10 minutes before this thing is happening. And I know second semester, I didn't get to go to morning practices that often because I was student teaching, which was another thing they didn't like about it. And they allegedly said that they didn't want to put any more education majors on the team.
Nor science, allegedly.
Allegedly. But what about you, Jordan and Maddie? I feel like I talked for a little bit too long. I'm sorry.
Personally, at least senior year of high school, I guess junior, senior, I was kind of dying. I mean, I was in all AP classes. I was in 3 sports, at least 2 second semester, and I was working a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I would literally run from track practice to lacrosse practice. And then right after, I'd go to work. And then after that, I would go home and study. And I was just exhausted and done for. And honestly, I had a mental breakdown hoping that the world was shut down. And then it did. and then
it did.
Terrible.
Senior at college, it was also a little difficult. I didn't work, but I didn't have time to work with both of my majors.
Mm-hmm.
And then with lacrosse on top of it, it pretty much took up the time that was free. As you've said, it was pretty much calendar, just back to back, like run to class, from class, straight to weights, leave weights early, go to class, and then be in class until 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was a study.
I don't remember how I worked while playing lacrosse. the second half of the year slash like when I was still part of the team. I don't remember how
Yeah.
during that time. Like I don't. Do you remember how I did it? I lived
You
it, like,
were working until
that was-
midnight.
That was off season. Off season's a little bit better than in season because I think it's only
was it?
3 days a
'Cause it was
week
January and
or 4 days a
February.
week.
Yeah. But it's like I wanted a job so badly,
was
but
there
a lot of
the
the
first
jobs I
summer.
looked for couldn't
But I think you stopped working at the movie theater.
accommodate for the schedule.
No, I stopped working in May at the movie theater. I was still working at the movie theater for a while.
Did I stay up and let you in
Yes, you
every
did.
night?
Every night.
Yeah, you were really nice.
What's wrong with
He was really nice.
I
That,
really
that or
should've-
Sophie
I
had
really
Sophie
should have
had the
said
key
no.
card some of the time because I remember you being like, "Hey, I can't get in. Sophie has my key
I
card."
love it. I love it. Thank you. Okay. I remember why I love her again. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Good school. It's cute.
That is cute.
I don't know how I did it, if I'm being honest. I remember being at the library a lot.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
I think all
I
of
was at
us
the
were kind of
library
in a certain building
with-
a lot.
with my laptop and a peach monster.
Yep.
I was never good at working in like public spaces. I just had to work in my dorm room.
I either
I
went to
wouldn't
the
work if I
science
was in my dorm
building.
room.
Same. I would go to the science building or I'd go to the library, depending on how full the library was or if I needed something from the science building. Because I liked
Mhm.
writing on whiteboards. I'd go and I'd just write on whiteboards so much.
Mm-hmm. You know what I just remembered? Because I don't
Hmm.
know, I wouldn't really consider it a sport, but I was just looking through my pictures while you were talking. I just remembered I did dance team my junior year too, and I quit that to do cheer. But
The
dance team
dance
was
team?
super Yeah, we did halftime shows at basketball games.
I kind of just
And I
merged
remember-
the cheer and the dance team.
Yeah, that's so valid.
Not to be rude.
No, that's not rude. You're fine. Because a lot of the people on dance team moved to cheer because a lot of us were cheerleaders, and like that's what my thought was. I
I'm
remember
so
because
sorry.
I was
That
having my.
football photo is priceless, Maddie.
But what I was saying, I was like, I remember I auditioned for dance team while I was waiting for lacrosse to email me back, and then I made it onto dance team, and I was like, well, I guess I'm doing both now because I just felt like I needed a sport in my life after I left cross country and track.
I think that's one reason I stayed with it is I don't know what I would do without a sport.
Yeah, it's really weird, like being an adult and not having one. And I do yoga now, and like that's nice, but it's not like an organized sport, and that's why like we went back, like going back to it's just really difficult to actually get up and exercise and stuff.
Okay, but if you could do a dream sport, what would it be?
Figure skating.
Valid.
I don't really
I
think I
think
have
that
a
would be
dream
fun.
sport, but I would like to get back into swimming, but it just I don't have time. I wish
Swimming's
I had more
expensive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and I have to, and every time the only place I want to go is the Y because it's inside, but I don't like how the lane's set up, and I don't like how
And it's busy.
exactly. I don't like all the people, and
Mhm.
last time I went and I was teaching Maddie how to swim. The guy was like, "Oh, that's so nice of you. You know how to swim so well." And then another lady came up and something else, and I was like, "Why are all these people talking to me?"
I
Yeah,
would
they
love
were
to
talking
swim
to
for
her a lot.
exercise.
And the
but
guy
it's
that was
busy.
complimenting her on her swimming when she was teaching me,
It's like,
he was like, "Sister, yeah, you're really teaching your sister how to swim." It's like,
That's
okay.
crazy.
So, like I know we're both like hair slicked back, wet with goggles on, but ain't
bold of
looking,
you to make the
ain't looking nothing alike other than the goggles.
You really don't.
in the nose.
No, we have very different noses.
You have
Sit down.
different
Okay,
noses.
okay, let me
Shadow?
see. Can you
In the shadow, you can
yeah,
the
see
nose.
see how our noses look alike now?
Yeah,
That you can't see my nose?
right there.
Whatever.
But I think I would like to get back into swimming if I had a sport. I like lacrosse, and I really like all that.
I feel
I
like
have
my
to have
sport
a
would still
team.
do it.
I don't want to have a team to play my sport, you know? So like I want to swim.
Mhm.
I get the figure skating, but I'm not great at skating. So it's a nice sport, but I wouldn't be able to do
I
it.
want to do gymnastics. I always wanted to do gymnastics and figure skating and stuff, but as Maddie said earlier, it was too expensive for my parents to pay for. So I could never do it. But I always
Yeah.
wanted to just like hop on one of those bars and be able to twist and turn. Concussion, bad foot.
Yeah, true.
There we go. There's my injuries in a nutshell.
Oh, I got a really bad bruise one time that we thought was
A broken shin.
a broken shin.
Do you remember that day? I took you to urgent care to get an x-ray, and then you had to
You
take me
did.
immediately right after we got back from yours so that I could get an x-ray of my foot.
Yeah.
And then we were both in a boot for like a week.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That was a day.
I'm
Like we
gonna-
missed all of our classes.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second because I need to do something to the phone that's recording. So I'm
It's
not
so nice
going
to
away.
let us
I'm
know.
just letting you know what's happening.
I was just muting us earlier for fun.
Oh, I was because I was eating. Honestly, I don't think I would have cared about the injuries if we had better doctors.
You want to see a photo of
I
me?
mean, I feel like our trainers were good.
But if you're watching this and you can only see me right now, you know that it did not work out for like, I think this will be episode 7 or 8. I don't remember off the top of my head. So you will know that it 8 times the charm or 7 times the charm still hasn't worked yet, but we'll figure it out.
Photos from before. Sounds good.
But I never had any like crazy injuries from lacrosse. Going back to that, I'm sorry, that was a tangent. A stress fracture from running, like in my foot before, and then I tore my calf muscle, and shin splints are forever. So once you
Oh,
get shin
yeah.
splints, it's so easy to get shin
Never
splints
goes
again.
back.
Did one of my favorite things after games in high school was to run a lap around the thing with and she had shin splints and she would like to do it just to get her frustrations out because we hardly ever won. But I thought it was really funny that she would put herself through the pain because she was so internally messed up that she was like, let's fuck my body up some more. You
I
know?
did that
That's
too.
crazy.
I would go on a
And-
3-mile run because I
But
was pissed off
I
even though my shins
understand. I
hurt.
think I agree. I think we've all been there, unfortunately.
I started doing those jogs with her. Well, they were fast sprints at that point, but
Mhm.
So what
it
we
was
had
very
practice
good.
at like
It was one of my
5
favorite
a.m., right?
Yeah.
Like 5, 6. I would wake up at
Mm.
3 o'clock and go on a run before our practice.
No, that's too early, Jordan.
You guys talk about burnout,
Sorry.
Burnout?
getting burnt out of your sport.
Have you guys ever been burnt out of your sport, and how did you deal with it?
Honestly,
I
I
pretended
feel
like
like
you
we
didn't
just
exist.
kept going, and yeah, I agree.
ignored
We
it,
just
you know.
you just kind of had to keep going.
It just- yeah, and now that we're adults, we just ignore our sports.
Obviously,
completely
based off
because-
of that one story where I was cursing off the field and threw my stick, sometimes I reacted. I still showed up, but I might have a little like yell thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think my biggest issue with burnouts, I don't know if you guys agreed or maybe you guys were graduated at this point. I felt like a lot of teammates had burnouts and would need a mental day, which is totally okay. But a lot of the
Mhm.
time I had to stand up for them and tell the coaches that they weren't coming, that I didn't feel like I could have any because I had to be there to stand up for the people.
I also don't really feel like I was allowed to have like it just I think that was like an internalized thing, but it seemed like a lot of people got a lot of like outs and passes than we did. But I just thought when you said having to stand up, do you remember when I almost lost my mind on one of our last games because they weren't putting you in
Yep.
at all, and they kept on replacing like you with other people that they didn't need to be placed with, and I
Yep.
I was just I like yelled at them. I was like, put Jordan in, and you're like, be quiet.
I'm like, there's no
And you were
point.
like,
It's
I
just,
love you, but there's no point.
I think the issue is if you stood up for other people when it came to playing time, it made things worse.
And it shouldn't never have been that way.
But
it is what it was.
Other people, when it came to mental, I feel like they listened more.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the person, of course. I feel like some people, they didn't listen because they kind of thought it was fake.
Meanwhile, I had a whole personality disorder.
But, like, certain people wouldn't stand up for themselves, and you kind of had to, and then they would listen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just crazy.
In one of our alleged meetings, they told me, they're like, we could tell you show up even when you are just having the worst day. And I'm like, thanks. Thanks a lot.
See, I don't know. I have a lot of respect for them with that because my senior year, allegedly, in end of the year meetings, a lot of people stood up for me and how they treated me poorly and how I deserved a lot more. And she told everyone, allegedly, that it was because I was in a terrible mental space and we had that talk about how I just didn't care anymore and how I was burnt out and all that other crap. So it's like they used me having one bad day and telling them I might be a little off at practice today as an excuse for them treating me poorly when it came to playing time. And I also disrespected that they would tell teammates what I'm telling them in private.
Exactly. Like, your personal mental health stuff is not their stuff to share.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree.
I don't know. Another reason why I just didn't feel like I could show that I ever was done with it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, again, this is us just like bashing a lot of our experience. I do feel like there are a lot of good coaches out there. We were just unfortunate that our coaches made the burnout a lot harder.
I had one.
Sophie has something to say.
I had two coaches. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about good coaches real quick. I had 2 coaches in high school. Okay, both with lacrosse. Technically, I could talk about my swim coach too, but he was pretty cool all the time. He was my gym coach too in school. But I'm gonna say his name. Well, my lacrosse coach's name, because I think he's in Florida. I don't think he's in the area anymore. But his name was, and he was by far the best coach I think I'd ever had, ever. And it was like, if lacrosse was structured in high school, like we had in the summertime dedicated gym time where we would go in and do some weightlifting, and we would go and run off season, and that was my first year of lacrosse in high school, and it was really nice, and I threw up, but it was nice, and I liked it and enjoyed my time there. And I felt like the seniors that were there, while they had their their drama, sorry I said it. While they had their drama, I learned a lot from my 2 senior goalies, one who just played the position before the other one did and just knew a lot about teaching somebody the position, and the other who's actually like a really good goalie. And I really appreciated them for helping, and I appreciated for treating his goalies like any other player. Like, not just like any other player, but like, I didn't have to carry the goal, but I still did. But like I was still expected to run. I was still expected to do all the other things, all the other drills, like almost as good, like not 100%, but like maybe 90%. And it was just nice being held accountable in a nice way. And we lost that a lot, but Coach tried to bring it back, and then we kind of lost it again because someone's dad took over the team.
Yeah, I feel very similar about that in a way. Like, I had 2 cross country and track coaches while I was in high school, and the coach I started under was absolutely amazing, and I loved him. And I know that he just got so tired and burnt out by the end that he just couldn't do it anymore. He was just tired after doing it for so many years. And the coach they replaced him with just absolutely made me hate the sport until my freshman year of college, and then that coach ended up making me hate the sport later on. So Jordan said, I've just realized that Jordan because I didn't say that earlier, Jordan did almost run for Converse under that same coach that made it my experience absolutely miserable. And so I think I'm like, me and Jordan probably would have met either way. I just don't know if so I don't know how we would have if we would have ended up being friends if you did cross country instead. But he was very awful to the point I had to leave, and he was also very vindictive, allegedly a lot like our coaches. Both coaches were allegedly very vindictive. But I did love most of my high school career cross country and track coach.
I personally, the only good coaches were sadly my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't show favoritism. I was never anything, and when it came to captains, it was a team vote because obviously their children were on the team and they didn't want to have to be making the decision. And if I got captain, make it a like, oh well, it's because she's a daughter type thing, which I appreciated. But like, I was held accountable the same way. Actually, if anything, I had to run more because I would sometimes talk back in private and they'd look at me and be like, go run a lap. But like, I felt the team never really acquainted me to being a daughter, you know? So they were the best coaches. Cross country and track, I quit in high school because the coaches had favoritism, and it was allegedly like, hey, if you beat the time on varsity, if you beat a girl, then you're going to go up to varsity. I would beat times and be stuck on JV. He did not like me. He hated my sister, actually, and I think he acquainted me to my sister. So because of him, I quit cross country and track. I couldn't stand the atmosphere anymore. And then obviously college lacrosse was a fun experience with coaches. So, and then some of my other soccer coaches from junior high, they were kind of the opposite. Their daughters were on the team. And so if you weren't one of their kids or one of their kids' friends, you just didn't play. So unless you were at his house every weekend or texting his kids, you just weren't a person. You weren't a teammate. So
I just feel like that's so sad. People just really shouldn't go into coaching if they have that type of mentality.
That is how my last year in high school's coach was. More so than on.
Okay, well, I've been thinking about it since y'all have been talking. I had a really good high school coach, and my travel coach / coaches were really good. But honestly, I think part of what made them so good is that they just built like skill and talent and trust on the field, and they didn't give two shits about what we were doing with each other off the field. If you were friends, you were friends. If you were not, if you're not, all that matters is that you were teammates on that field and that you were there for each other and you were going to back each other up and you were looking out for the other people on the field that had your color on it.
You have the foundation to help.
Like, because I wasn't friends with a good bit of my I was friends with my travel team. I was a lot more friends with like some of the younger ones. My point of this is I feel like our coaches in college cared too much about what we were doing outside and not actually building a team on the field. They were like, we're all a team all the time. And it's like, sometimes I get sick and tired of your face. Like, not the coaches, but everyone's face. No, I don't want to hang out with them on a random Tuesday when I'm watching a movie.
Or be forced to live with them as roommates like they did all freshmen.
That's I feel like that screwed half of Sophie's college experience. Because
they
were allegedly requiring all freshmen to room together.
Yeah, and that, you're together way too much. Of course you're going to start getting to the point where you resent each other.
Especially because I feel like Converse was really good at trying to pair you with people who were like you in living. I mean, that they had that whole questionnaire, you know?
Exactly.
And then allegedly our coaches would just step in, not even think about that, and just pair you with a teammate. And it's like, what if you live completely different and that's one reason you're can't get along with them is because you're super clean and they're super messy, and it makes the house living horrible. It's not going to pair well on the field.
And then how are you supposed to make other friends? Like they just didn't want you to have any other friends unless they were on the team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They told me allegedly to leave my other friends because they weren't in sports or athletics.
I had a similar conversation because I had 2 friends for the first part of that year.
I remember that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed
I still follow one of them.
I still
I do
follow
too. I think.
I bet it's the same one.
It is. I miss them. Well, I missed one of them, so
Yeah.
the same one.
Reach out.
Yeah.
No, that's too much work. I don't need more friends. It's hard.
That he has to keep up
It's
with.
hard enough keeping up with you guys, and you reached out to me.
Fair.
I appreciate it.
We do need to talk about, like, was there anything else we wanted to talk about lacrosse wise or sports wise or anything? We did talk a lot about negatives, but again, like, guys, if we wouldn't have done this, we wouldn't have met
Honestly,
each other.
I
And
love
so I
having the
think it's all worth it in
experience.
the end.
I really love lacrosse. So,
It's a fun sport, and I think that it's good for beginners, especially if you played soccer or a basketball before. It's basically like a large field with some sticks and the ball, and you shoot still. It's the same thing, and it's very beginner friendly.
Yeah, overall, again, I know we did a lot of complaining, a lot of things. Sports can be super toxic, but we did get good things out of it. And I know we talked a little bit about the good things, and I don't think I would change it because then I wouldn't have you guys. And I know that's really sappy. And I know I already said that, but I do truly love you guys, and y'all are some of my bestest friends in the entire world. And I would go through HE double hockey sticks and back for you guys. So
That's for you too, Sid.
thank you.
I already have a count. I might as well keep it.
Fair. Any more last minute comments or anything y'all wanted to talk about before I do the outro? I'll stop recording and then we can finish our other conversations that we wanted to finish, like about when we're going to visit Jordan, stuff like that.
I think I'll just say I agree with Sid, even though there was a lot of bad, there was also a lot of good, and I wouldn't take anything back.
Yeah,
I agree.
Any last thoughts, Maddie?
Just everything everybody else said. I liked it. I feel like I'm the only one when we talk about it that I'm like, I miss it. I feel like every time we talk about it, y'all are like, no, fuck that. It was terrible.
I miss
that I could go
having
back
like
on
an
that
organized
page.
sport in my life.
Yeah.
I miss having an organized sport in my life, not necessarily lacrosse as a sport, but I miss getting to see you guys every day. That's what I miss about it.
I miss the sport. I miss being around people I enjoy every day. I miss though I wasn't friends with everyone on the team, I was able to have a lot of jokes and have a lot of conversations on the field that I enjoyed having every day. Like every morning I would make jokes with people while warming up, and it was just fun.
I also miss the routine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Thank you all for listening / watching to my podcast. Thank you for Dylan for being our interviewer, even though we talked over you a lot. Bye, Dylan.
It's okay, he's gaming.
That's so fair. We had a lot more to talk about on this one, so this will definitely be a longer episode for sure. But the Snow Stories podcast is going to be coming out before this one, so this one will be after the Snow Stories podcast. So if you guys watch the Snow Story podcast, let me know what you think about it, because that was a super spur of the moment thing I did, but it did turn out pretty good. I'm still in the process of editing it, but it was a good recording. But with that, do all of the things that YouTubers ask you to do. So like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next, or not next. I messed up my own outro because I got used to my YouTube outro. I will see you guys every other Monday, and hopefully you can see all of us because Sophie just put a fake dragonfly on Maddie's head and now shoulder, but hopefully that recording will work out. But if you could only see me right now, it didn't, but that's okay because trial and error. But yeah, so bye.
Have a good night.
Night, everyone.
Okay, and recording.
Okay, please get it out of my hair.